Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. We are pleased to be joined by Kevin Davis of Livonia Franklin Basketball. How's it going?
Not too bad. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Of course, you also know him for Livonia Franklin Baseball. We'll get to that in a minute. So let's talk about getting ready for the season. I know that this is kind of your busiest time of the year, but how excited are you to kind of start the basketball season?
I was really excited. We put a lot of work in from the summer, even though I wasn't really there for the summer because obviously baseball is my first sport. So I'm there. But this fall, we did a fall league. And so we've all been together for about like 6 weeks now. So it's all building up and where everyone's really excited to get the first game under our belts.
Yeah, of course, you guys got Livonia Clarenceville on Tuesday. So kind of heading into those, it's so close you can almost eat it. So it's how exciting is it to? It's like we're playing games again.
It's really exciting because so we've done scrimmages obviously, but those aren't it's not the same atmosphere as an actual game day. Obviously refs aren't going to be calling stuff. It's kind of just doing your own thing and prepare. But this is really our first actual test to see how we match up against someone else when it actually matters.
So going into that, just getting ready for a game. What have you kind of worked on this off season to help you kind of get better at this? And obviously, you're a pretty busy kid, obviously with baseball. But overall, how exciting is it?
Oh, it's really a lot of work in this fall. So especially myself, just not really skill work, just kind of being a leader out there because we lost a lot of seniors. So we only have 3 this year. So I had to step up big time this year, especially be a leader on the court and keeping everyone intact. So that's really the biggest thing I've worked on this off season.
Yeah, and going into those you got some big opponents coming up in there. You guys go to Plymouth Christian, but you have 5 home games in the month of December. There are teams that only have 1, and you guys got 5 home games before the calendar shifts to 2023. So, just how much of an advantage does it have to have all these games at home?
There's nothing big. I mean, to be honest, I didn't realize we had that many home games. I really haven't looked at the schedule that much, but that's obviously a really big advantage just to be on our home court in front of everyone. We've been practicing here all winter, so we're used to everything. We know different little creeks and everything. Anything possibly different with the court, and just it's something different as being in your home gym compared to go somewhere else, worry about big student sections or rivalry crowds. It's definitely good to be home and have everyone around supporting you.
Yeah. Okay, so there's the basketball side of it, but one more thing on that. Of course, this is your last basketball season. Of course, you're going on. We'll get to the baseball news you made a few weeks ago. But let's talk about that. Knowing that this is probably your last basketball season this is your last basketball season in high school. But what is it like entering in this final year, knowing that let's just go out there and see what happens?
We definitely have a chip on our shoulder, I'd say, because we want to bring home a district title. Because last year we fell really 1 point short to Romulus in our final game, which is heartbreaking for all of us. So it definitely gives extra motivation that we want to accomplish something that we haven't done in, I'd say, 12 years. I think last time we won was 2010. So going on to 13 years, it's definitely something we want to bring home and be able to show, leave our mark on the school to our senior class was the class that brought Franklin's first title in 13 years.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the news that we kind of mentioned a couple times. Let's talk about where are you gonna go to continue your baseball career?
So about 2-3 weeks ago, I officially committed to Lansing Community College. Really excited about that. I visited there in the fall, I'd say maybe mid-October, and I just really fell in love with it. Coaching staff was great. I was able to practice with the players. Players were all really inclusive, made me feel like I was part of there, and it really felt like home to me from the second I got there.
Yeah. So I know Coach Fournier has really kind of been excited about with the upcoming season and all that. But overall, how excited are you to kind of get out there and to kind of know that this is your last year to impress a lot of people, and you already have where your future's set kind of for next year as well?
It's been really exciting, especially because we have a chip on our shoulder after last year. And we went to Northville. And we lost them 1-0 in a heartbreaker in regionals. Which we play them again this season, so I think that's be a good test for us to get our revenge. And then along we lost, I'd say 4 seniors, like 4 like really big contributors. So I'm curious how we'll come together as a team to like not let that like stop us and like build around that, like push forward from that.
For sure. You also played Northville this basketball season too. So,
Yeah, we do. Especially after we lost to them last year in basketball by 1 as well. So get
but
revenge in both sports.
funny how all that works out.
Oh yeah.
Um, okay, so let's get to know you a little bit. How about that, Kevin?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay. Do you have any basketball or baseball superstitions?
I think I'm really like superstitious about everything. Like I'd say like I'm trying to think for basketball. I mean, I always starts with I say game day. I always like put like the exact always first shoe on. Like I put the right shoe on. I mean, no, sorry. I always put my ankle brace on first, ankle brace, and I put shoe on, tie, and like my pregame routine is always like the exact same, and just like I keep it like unless something like goes wrong, I'll change it up. But then, and I'd say like baseball probably where I'm the most superstitious. Like so, every at bat my season, I go up to bat. So I go to the box. I would just sit there for a second, just deep breath. I take one spit, wipe it off, and then right foot in the box, left foot in the box, tap, look back, and then every at bat in high school did that. And then from there, I'd go like starting before my plate approach, I'd say like on deck. If let's say I'm having like a really good game, but if I put like my shin guard on first, then I'll keep putting that on first. Let's say like I'll go strike out. Instead of putting my shin guard on first, I'll put my batting gloves on first, then I put my shin guard on first. And then if that works, then I keep going with that. And then I just go with it until I mess it up. So I think I'm very superstitious.
I'll say.
Yeah.
um, what is like? Is there like someone like if there's a basketball player or a baseball player? In this, is my opinion, or in your case, who do you look up? Who did you look up to the most growing up?
When I was younger, I'd say the only always change between Miguel Cabrera and Justin Verlander. I mean, I would change each year depending on whose number I wore that year for baseball, whether it was 35 or 24. Because just growing up a young baseball fan, obviously those were my my biggest idols. Like I still have a giant Miguel Cabrera fat head on my wall from when I was like 6 years old, probably. That's still on my wall. And then yeah, there's someone I look up to just because like you don't really see him in the news for like being in trouble for anything. Like I think he's a great role model for everybody, and then especially with, like I mean how good he is and everything he's accomplished. Like I think you can't go wrong looking up to someone like him.
Yeah. So let's go into what who's your favorite player currently right
Currently, I would say probably Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals. He plays third base like I do, so he's like probably the one of the smoothest infielders I've ever seen. So I try to model my game off his a little bit.
now? Okay. Um, let's see. Is it what's a go-to place for food?
I think you can't go wrong with beat ups. Like beat up is always like someone's go eat. I'm like, yeah, like let's go to beat ups or post game W, like let's go to beat ups. But then this place I really like by my house, Penn Station, some of the best subs ever. Like I find myself always going there. Like the guys that work there know my order by heart. As soon as I walk in, they're like, oh, he's back. So that's definitely up there.
Yeah, there's a couple places that I go to that yep, they know exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Always right. Yeah. What's something people don't know about you, Kevin?
People probably don't know that I'm like I feel like I'm really like I'm a shy person. Like it may not see it like the past like few years, I'd say, just because like since coming to my freshman year, probably the most shy people you would see. Like I would be afraid to talk to anybody. Like I just like hate talking. But now ever since my like JV basketball year, my one coach, he would preach to me like he said, okay, like because I played JV my freshman and sophomore years, so the same coach, so he knew that I had to step up big time for the team. So he kind of forced me beyond my will to be vocal to everybody, which that was definitely a big factor for me because now I'm like I feel like I'm one of the most chatty people. Like I can just go and just talk to anyone now. So I think people don't really know that how shy I really was.
Yeah. It's at different times you got to come out of your shell a little bit. And yeah, that's awesome, bud. Okay. Let's see. Um, Best game that you've had. This can be in basketball or baseball.
All right, my best basketball game, my freshman year playing cross time was Churchill, which are not very they're obviously not very good, but like it's still a rivalry game. It was on my birthday. In that game, I got the double double, 20 points, 10 rebounds. That was best game of my life on my birthday. When after celebrate at B Dubs after with my family, like that was probably the highlight of my basketball career up to this point. And then baseball, I would say this past year played Lincoln Park in a weekend doubleheader. I think I went 4 for 4. I had 3 doubles, and I had a walk-off mercy grand slam. I had 8 RBIs. I had 8 of our 16 runs that game. So that was definitely my best baseball game I can think of in recent times.
For sure. All right. Well, Kevin Davis, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us, and best of luck this season.
Thank you. I appreciate it.